Imagine a forest where a troop of restless monkeys, addicted to every shiny distraction, chatter, and leap from branch to branch, forever seeking their next hit. And then there's you, the lone wolf, moving with purpose through the shadows, senses honed, patience unbroken. While the monkeys clamor for attention, you plot your course in silence, guided by instinct and depth. Are you ready to leave the monkey chaos behind and embrace the wolf's quiet power? We will show you 5 differences between the hot dude alpha and the calculated sigma. Without further delay, let's just start the video. 1. The fireworks versus the forge. You weigh sources, question biases, and let insight illuminate your path. Like Sun Tzu reminding you that knowledge of self and foe secures victory before battle begins. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. A 2019 Pew Research Center study found that viewers who prioritize content of educational and news retain 35% more information long-term than those who consume predominantly entertainment clips, and also 30% more critical thinking ability. They lean into slapstick, gaming montages, and sexy reels, anything to spark a quick dopamine. Their curiosity fizzles when faced with slow, in-depth analysis. They can leave YouTube for TikTok if they get more fun, but you pivot from one sci-fi deep dive to another. Track business talk shows, market trends, AI news, monitor stock prices, startup analysis, and scan world news headlines. You don't abandon a promising thread for empty thrills. You chase infotainment that feeds your strategy, exploring quantum theories as readily as quarterly earnings reports. 2020 Media Consumption Survey showed that those who balance entertainment with informational content report 28% higher long-term retention and decision-making confidence. Harper and Singh. Will you settle for a punchline, or will you digest the data? You transform each bite of information into fuel for your next move, forging foresight in the kill of hard facts. Number 2. The stage versus the shadows. Have you ever stood in a crowded room, feeling the weight of expectations to perform, while secretly craving the quiet corners where truth whispers? Alphas command the stage. They're architects of influence, sculpting crowds with charisma. Like a general rallying troops talked about in Sun Tzu's The Art of War, they thrive on visibility. Their power flows from presence. Loud, undeniable, feeding on the energy of others. But here's the cost. Their authenticity drowns in the applause. They lead because they need to, not because they choose to. It's a performance, and the audience is their oxygen. Sigmas. They're the shadows. No grand speeches, no orchestrated charm. Their influence seeps through actions, not words. Picture a lone wolf tracking prey, silent, precise, marking paths for others to follow. They don't avoid leadership. They redefine it. Why bark orders when your choices show the path? A Sigma builds a bridge by walking it first. Their strength. It demands nothing from anyone. Philosophy whispers a harsh truth here. Machiavelli warned that leaders manipulate to survive. Alphas embody this, but Stoicism offers a counter. True power needs no validation. Sigmas live this. They lead from solitude because crowds dilute purpose. Ask yourself, when you've achieved something meaningful, did you need an audience to feel it? Psychology reveals a twist. Extroverts draw energy from others, like a fire fed by wind. Introverts generate it internally, like embers in ash. That's why alphas crumble in silence, sigmas fortify there. So whose influence lasts longer, the thunderclap or the slow, deep river carving stone? Difference number 3, the observer. What happens when truth is trapped between the one who shouts it and the one who dissects it? Alphas speak to conquer. Their words are tools, sharp, immediate, designed to persuade. They need you to understand their vision. Think of a blacksmith hammering iron, forceful, rhythmic, but urgency breeds blindness. In their rush to be heard, they often miss the fractures in their own logic. Nietzsche saw this. Convictions are more dangerous enemies of truth than lies. Alphas live by conviction, not curiosity. Sigmas dissect the world in silence. Before they speak, they map the terrain, every slope, every trap. Like Sun Tzu, surveying a battlefield, they analyze outcomes, patterns, consequences. Their power isn't in volume, but precision. Why shout when observation reveals more? Their silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. They know truth echoes loudest in empty spaces. Stoicism whispers here. Seek to understand before seeking to be understood. Sigmas embody this. Alphas reverse it. Ask yourself, when faced with chaos, do you grab a megaphone or a microscope? Psychology reveals a brutal split. A 2017 Yale study found extroverts dominate discussions, but introverts retain 28% more complex information. Alphas talk at problems, Sigmas unravel them. Example: an alpha salesperson overwhelms you with features. A Sigma engineer notices the flicker in your eyes when you hold the product. That's the data that matters. Philosophy sharpens the blade. Machiavelli praised the fox who recognizes traps over the lion who frightens wolves. Alphas roar. Sigmas notice the trap behind the grass, so whose insight cuts deeper, the sword swung wildly, or the scalpel held still. Difference number 4. The impulsive leaper versus the strategic grinder. You know that guy who quits his job the second he feels bored, the one always chasing the next thrill. That's the alpha. They will leave any boring job or startup, even if it means resetting their career to zero. They hope for miracles, the new job, the new environment, like it magically fixes everything, like the universe awaits for his happiness. Rome wasn't built in a day. Warren Buffett didn't get millionaire in 1 year. Relationships, alphas even bail out when things get quiet. Modern society profits from this. Apps, dating sites, gig economies. They all sell the lie that new is always better. Sigmas aren't like that. They endure, not because they're weak, but because they see the long game. They know when to give time and when to withdraw. Good things take longer. They calculate cold, hard value. Extroverts often collect experiences like trinkets, discarding them once the shine fades. A steady job giving 20% annual growth through compounding baits a flashy new role with a potential of 200% raise in 10 years that resets your progress. Mastering one skill for a decade makes you irreplaceable. Job hopping makes you disposable. But Sigmas aren't fools. When something is truly dead, a corrupt company, a broken relationship, they walk away without drama. No tears, no second thoughts, just exit. Alphas chase dopamine hits. Sigmas chase compound interest. Society gets rich on the alpha's restlessness. You get rich on your patience. Difference number 5. Do you flick or focus? Have you ever felt your mind sprint toward the next short clip while the story barely begins? They scroll through endless reels. Their attention span collapses at the first sign of depth, and they chase dopamine hits over discernment. But you settle in for the long haul. You devour 10 or 20-minute deep dives, savor every nuance, and emerge with a strategy forged in patience. Sigmas thrive on serotonin. Satisfaction lives in the strain. Imagine a sculptor chiseling marble over hours versus someone doodling on scraps between texts. A 2024 study found that frequent short-form video consumption impairs executive control and diminishes self-discipline, while content spanning 5 to 15 minutes delivers peak retention and deeper engagement. You don't just skim knowledge, you hone it into a tool. Every minute of context, every plotted graph, every carefully explained concept becomes ammunition in your silent arsenal. Will you keep flicking away your focus for fleeting thrills, or will you anchor your mind and claim mastery over distraction? Thanks for watching.